Dun, dun. All right, so today we have a Seagate drive, which I'm going to be doing. It's a Seagate enclosure. It's really old, as you can tell by the dust on top of it. It's for NAS, network addressable storage. It's been here for a long time, and I've been meaning to pop this drive out of this enclosure. So, and I don't know how to do this. You know, homeowners associations they're really bad people. They're thieves. That's just what they are. They're thieves. The people around here, they think that they're enforcing some kind of. I've actually had people try to cite me infractions because I brought my tools out to fix my car, and they've literally walked up on me and said that I can't have my tools out in the yard while I was working on my car. You see what I'm saying? I had a car that broke down, and these people call every week, every week, every week. They constantly give you citations for violations and then threaten you with liens against your deeds. Some people in this neighborhood know that. And you want to know what's funny is you drive through this neighborhood, you look at where all the money is going, and it's only the people in the boardroom. All of their yards have these nice little rocks with lights on them. You ask them where they got the money, they won't tell you. I already know where they got the money. It's people that use the law for their own benefit to enforce people. So you tell me shit about that we live in a society. We don't live in a society. We live in, what do they call that? It's anarchy. It's legal anarchy. That's my definition for it, because that's what it is. Everyone at the meetings always agrees that those people running around calling people to get the city to write citations for people, those people are assholes. They are straight up cowards. They will not, I mean, I can show you out there in my yard where they broke my fence open trying to get into the backyard just so they can write some kind of citation, even though there's a fucking sign that says no trespassing. If they supposedly can see anything at all, if they see a water bottle out in your yard that you're using to weed the yard, and you leave it out there overnight, next day you'll receive a citation for it. Yeah, so here's what it is these old people have nothing better to do with their lives. They've got nothing else to do except to sit and bitch about other people. And they use the law for their own evil agenda. I mean, they cost me a car that I needed a part for, that I was shipping the part. The part needed to be sent, and it was heavy, and it needed to be shipped. It would take 2 weeks to get here because, I couldn't afford to fly air for something that weighs 100 pounds, so it's got to ship ground. But the citations must remove this, must remove vehicle, must do this within 2 days or 5 days, must compliance within 7 days, and you're trying to fix a vehicle to get it up and working. They don't let you do that. If they see you out here working on a car, they will literally call the city over and over and over again. Now, let me tell you, I don't like these people. I wish that I could do the same to them. If I was a bad person, I probably would have. I would have people banging down their doors doing the same thing. But when you stoop to their level, then you become just like them. Nothing gives me more pleasure than to tell people what I think of them to their face. But we live in one of those societies where everyone is a fucking coward. They always got to send someone else to do their dirty work. And because people are desperate or stupid, they get paid for this stuff. We had one time a cross-eyed lady come out here demanding to see the back of the yard. and I told her to go fuck herself. And she said, "How dare you threaten me?" And I say, you know, lady, I'm just suggesting that you go into the bedroom and do yourself. That's not really a threat. I thought that was a compliment. But people don't have jokes, right? They have no sense of humor. Anyway, so what are we doing? We are popping this open. How do I get this out of here? I know this snaps together. So this outer shell right here snaps onto this. But there's got to be like a latch or a release mechanism. Let's see. It looks like it's the bottom. It looks like it's this part that comes off. I don't want to break this. Usually it's a bad idea to use metal against plastic. Right? Okay. It definitely comes off that way. Oh, shit. Yeah. It looks like it already started to break it. I have a feeling we're going to break this. I was going to show a way to do this non-destructively, and apparently I'm not getting very far with that. How do I do this without breaking it? Well, it's kind of hard if you can't see the latching mechanism, because then you don't know which way to pull it. I do know that this is the cover that comes off, though. So I got that part. It's probably no different on this side. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about this. There's a latch. There's a plastic latch, and it's got a hook. So it comes in like this, and then it latches against the lip. So you got to lift it out somehow so it comes out. But that's kind of hard because that's only made to go on one way. So yeah, I'm probably going to end up destroying this. Let's see if I have more cards. But yeah, the homeowners association people, they can go fuck themselves. They really can. Straight out. I mean, they're just pieces of shit. They're thieves because they steal. They steal from the community fund, and then every year they raise it. We pay more in homeowners fees in this neighborhood than any other neighborhood in 10 square miles. And they've also somehow got it to where they can raise the fees to the maximum. Something like 5% every year. And let me tell you something, they do every year. It's 5% every year. And then they get their friends, they call up their friends, and they'll get some organization to fix something, right? And it always ends up costing like 10 times the normal rate of what it should cost. God, I hate using metal against plastic because I already know what's going to happen. It's going to break. All right, got one of them up. This is bad. This is not the way to open this correctly. Oh, damn, it hurt. Well, at least I didn't stab myself. This goes to show you. I have a bunch of spudge tools, but for some reason... Aha! I think we're in. That side is open. Maybe I can take that out now. Let's just hope that I... Okay, so if I can get this in, I know what to do. there's just one. And by the way, if you get the numbers off these cards, they're all empty. So they're not even mine. Someone left them by a gas station. Aha! So, okay. If you want to get it off without breaking it, their pressure points are here and here in the middle. That causes the ends to pop off. There's still something in the middle holding it down, and I don't think it's a screw, though. This probably comes out. Wow, that really tore that card up. There we go. And it broke it. I thought I was going to be able to get it out without destroying it too bad. But apparently didn't. Huh. What do you think? Can I get this side off at least? Yeah, well, you know, in the news, they're all bitching about how socialism is evil. Let me tell you something. Homeowners associations are socialism. Because they force you. They'll do anything they can. And once they get a little legal form to say, you're not in compliance, we're charging you $4,000 a day for not being in compliance. Then they run it up so that the lien is the same as the deed, and then they get the deed. These people that are running the board here have already bought 3 of the properties here. And their greedy little eyes are setting up for more properties. And they love to fine people. Your tires are too heavy looking. You need to paint your car. Or your house is in disrepair. Your bushes are too high. But they don't really say what. They just say that you have an infraction, and they write down the amount that they consider the amount that they could charge to levy against you. Which, I mean, it's not going to hold up in court at all. But the problem is that you have all of these lawyers are always against individuals. In a community, they're against the individuals because they're for the forcing of taxation and levying fees against people. So the lawyers are on the side of the money. They're not on the side of the individuals. So when you go to these people, all they're going to do is just tell you, you know, oh, wow, there's some kind of glue on this. Okay, it's going to break anyway, so, ew. It looks like they glued it for some reason. And we've got some foil on it. This is a really heavy drive. This was part of a docking station, which I got a long time ago. Right. This was the docking station. As you can see, it's called a free agent. Now, Seagate released this. They released one firmware code for it, and then they released the open source, but they put binary blobs in the open source, so you couldn't do anything with it. And it wasn't, they violated so many GPLs when they did this. It was ridiculous. But this is like a little Arduino. You know those little Pi boards, little boards with the ARM chips on them? And it's got some firmware on it, and all it is, it's got something called Samba server, or CIFS. Computer Internet File System, and they put that on NAS, or Network Addressable Storage, which this is just a regular hard drive. That's what it is. Now, my problem that I had with this one is that the speed on it was atrocious. When you hooked it up through the USB 2 to copy files onto it, it literally was 25 megabytes per second was the maximum that you could get either way. That was horrible. And then this is supposed to be a gigabit LAN. It's not. The thing runs about the same speed as 100 megabit LAN, which is a lot less. 25 megabits is the maximum that you get out of it. Sometimes you can peak at 30 with it, but copying, you know, when you take movies, like for instance, the old tape drive movies, the old High 8 and the DV tapes, the digital ones, they translate to 13 gigabytes. So each tape is 13 gigabytes. So when you transfer those movies to back them up to digital, you have to transfer a 13 gig file each time. And that takes forever. If you have like 8 or 9 tapes, it's literally going to take you 4 or 5 days of transferring at that speed. So when they advertised this, I thought, okay, well, so it'll be fast enough so I could cut it down to 24 hours, right? Wrong, because it ran a hell of a lot slower than it's supposed to. And this item is still good, but this hard drive still has information I want to keep on it. So, and it's got an ext4 file system, which means I'm going to hook it up to my router and use my open source software to mount it, and then do my own Samba server from there. And I'll get a lot faster speeds than what's on it currently. Okay, so we have Torx. And let's see. To get Torx out. Oh, wow. That's what you call tripping. Tripping over. You can tell how shitty this is. Look, it's rusting. I barely use this. Maybe like 2 or 3 times in a year. I think that's perfect. And this, in every other Asian country, they sell this as metal, like this tip. But in America, the tip is plastic. Yeah. Let's think about it for a second. I'm not sure why they put insulating foil on this. It's just a sticky insulation foil. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to end up using a little pry lever just to get that, since I don't have fingernails. But yeah, we got a bunch of people here that claim that they're all about society, and but they use the law in every single way, in every capacity that they can, to harass you. And that's really what it amounts to. Some old shit that's sitting around has nothing better to do with their life. And really, they should just hurry up and fucking die. And don't take that personally. I mean, if you're a good person, I would love to hug you and be a part of your life. But these people around here are not good people. The vast majority of them are fucking assholes. Like pure assholes. The kind of assholes that, you know, if you're in a trench and people are shooting at you, you might accidentally drop a grenade under them and you wouldn't feel any remorse at all. That's the kind of assholes I'm talking about. All right, well, so that's an issue right there. This little metal thing. Yes, it's not. It doesn't look connected. It may just. Well, it's going to have to be bent anyway, so just bend it up. I don't ever plan on using this NAS. I'm just going to sell the bottom to someone that may need theirs that died, you know, because they use theirs more heavily than I do. I just use this to back up stuff, to back up movies, old videotape movies and pictures and things. Okay, so I should be able to out, but it's wedged in pretty good. There's probably an easier way to do this. I'm thinking that this metal shroud should slide out of here first, but it's glued. So that's a problem. Because on the sides here, we have glue and glue and glue and glue. And I can see that it's glued. And so I don't want to bend anything. I don't want to bend the drive in any capacity. There we go. So I was right, these are glued on. And the shroud, it's welded. It's spot welded, machine welded. So there's no way to get it out of there except by bending that up. So we shall proceed to do. Proceed to bend forthwith. You know what's funny is if it doesn't matter if they levy all those fines, the homeowners association they can go fuck themselves, because after we're just going to pay the deed off, and once we pay the deed off, they can levy as much fines as they want. They're not going to be able to do a damn thing about it because the property is going to stay. It's going to stay here, and it's going to be rented out. It's never going to be sold. So it doesn't matter. They want to assess the fees so much so that they end up exceeding the value of the property. And that's how you get it out. How you actually get it out of this, maybe a little, oh, I see. So I've got to slide this out, which means that this foil right here was to keep it from sliding out of it. I guess I didn't see that. This looks like your standard refrigeration. I've worked on refrigerators before. Oh yeah, I've done all the horrible jobs. Toilet cleaning, attic work, roofing. Yeah, a white guy roofing. I always got the shit jobs, but you know, that's because my parents were so loving. They left me with absolutely nothing. Oh, the society will take care of our kids. Go free. Be out there. Teach our kids to blend into your society. And society won't take advantage of them at all. No, not at all. No, they do. They'll take advantage of you and then leave you fucking dead on the side of the road with nothing. And then they'll fucking cite you for a violation. Standing around. You're loitering for more than 5 minutes. I fucking hate people like that. Sometimes I wish there was a civil war, because then you could just line them all up and fucking shoot them. And then you get a medal for it, right? They would all clap you. Thank God you rid us of all these old assholes. And that's it. So from here you just slide it out and we're done.